I almost come across not to make this video because I just feel it's too personal for me. But, you know, I just kind of feel like if the Lord's gonna put a peace in my heart and give me comfort, why can't I talk about it, you know? And I almost didn't want to do it, but just kind of felt him wanting to. I don't feel it's justified, but I don't know. This may be the longest one that I might do in these spirit talk videos, you know? But, yeah, anyways, I might as well give a background story as I'm doing a couple things here in the studio. But, okay, so about a few years ago, exactly 5 years ago, I met this person. It's a girl, and she has an amazing voice. She has a heart to pursue the presence of God, you know. And when I looked at her at first, I was like, wow, this girl has something special. But, you know, it seemed that she wants to get a bit more, like she wants to be independent. That's kind of what I fear of what she has. I just kind of feel like at the beginning it was going to be a little bit more difficult. But when I present myself of the worship team and I show them off like my skills, my talent or whatever, she came up to me afterwards and says, "Are you going to play for Sunday?" That was the first thing she has ever said to me. And I was like, wow, that excited? Dang, that's crazy. And I'm like, no, I wish, but, you know. But that was like the first words she has said. Then, you know, Sunday goes by, I played, she was practicing, and I remember, you know, her at first approaching to me. So I thought, I might as well get an approach to her. But at the time, she was dating someone. So it kind of looked like she wanted a bit of privacy. So I thought, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And, you know, if she wants to talk, you know what? It'll be cool. It'd be cool to make friends with her, you know? But, yeah. Anyways, it's been like that. A couple of Sundays coming by in the year, actually towards the end of the year, we just kind of say hi, God bless you, how do you feel about the song, and vice versa, you know, just kind of like a one-on-one kind of like question thing. Then the pandemic came around, and so we were all locked down, and I thought it'd be cool to, since we're all at our homes doing nothing, I felt it would be very cool to like, you know, to kind of like get to know her and stuff like that. So with a little bit of doubt, I kind of sent like a very long text message. We were DMing on Instagram at first before we moved to somewhere new. And it was easy for her to like respond quick. And I was like, wow, that was easy. That was super easy. And well, from, you know, from like 2 years later, like when the churches were like starting to open up their services inside, I don't know, like when I first showed up at the church to play with the team, I don't want to really mention her name and the location because I don't want to get sued. But I was at a church and she was there getting ready, and I was coming by to walk in, and with all of a sudden she was there like, you know, excited to, sorry, I'm having my eyes had something in my eyes. Sorry. um, she was like super excited to, you know, get to know, not know me, to like see me. And why does my eye look red? Jesus, I don't know. But man, something really has my eye, but whatever. So we just kind of talk nonstop back and forth. We're just worshiping God on Sunday, and you know, the week comes by afterwards. I soon come in. She was running at the front house to get, you know, the gear I needed, like my in-ears, the pack, and everything else. Like she was like all hyped up, and I was like, I never see a person or girl hyped up just to wait for me when I get inside the door to, you know, to get ready for practice. It was like, dang, ready. But yeah, so we just kind of get something going on, and you know, weeks coming by, we just couldn't stop like talking. Like I would just send a text to her, then she would respond back, then she would react. The more she gets into me and the more I get into her, it's like, wow, we're like forming like a connection already. So I thought, you know what, if that's cool with you, let's become friends. And immediately she accepted the fact that she would like to, you know, get to know me a lot more. I get to know her a lot more. We can be a little bit more comfortable with each other, and vice versa. Every Sunday morning, she would just wait for me to go to the youth room after worship, and then coming back for the altar call to play, she would just come with me actually, after a bit of a youth class during service. We would just come by in the green room, and then just get, you know, things ready and just, you know, get things going. And you know, we just gonna stop like almost every week, like on Instagram. So that was like for me, like, wow. And she shared me a lot about, you know, like her stories, and I share with her my stories, things I've gone through. And so that kind of like formed like a brother and sister kind of bond. And you know, time goes by, we've been like being comfortable with each other, her and I, so easily. The fact that, you know, I've been going through a lot of stuff, she was the only one out of the team, out of anyone that I know, was there, asked me how I am, and you know, just being there for me. And I would do the same thing for her. Whenever like she gets to practice, out of mood, I didn't want to come up to her, but then when she leave, I then send a quick little text message saying, hope you're doing okay. I noticed you were a little bit different on practice, hoping you're okay. And you know, she responded with kindness. And let me tell you, she's probably one of the sweetest, kindest human beings ever. She was like an angel out of the get-go, a treasured gem. She's been like sharing me a lot of worship plans that really got me excited, because those were plans that I was like kind of thinking in my mind, like, when can we do things like that? And when she was sharing me about the ideas and she's planning to do so for the worship team, I was like, yes, absolutely. And you know, I've been like trying to like get a little bit close to her, to the point where we've gone to a spot where we were like, from here, then we went here, and then we got more and more till we did this. We couldn't let go of each other. She told me how inspiration I was to her, which almost made me cry. Because I never heard anyone saying that to me at all, because I thought I wouldn't be, but she did. That was special for me, because I never think of that way. And I just kind of felt, God, I just want to say thank you for having her in my life, having to know her as my friend, as my sister. I want to continue this bondage, this connection I had with her. And I want you to be the center of all. And I'm praying for her life as she persuades you. And she's been getting all like excited on a song. She's worshiping the Lord. She sings with all her heart. I'm like, wow. Like, she is not just a vocalist. She's not like an angel. She's like a worship leader, a worshiper. She gives God 100%. And I was like, wow. And that inspires me to give God my 100%. Which is why I don't have fear of just moving around on stage, But I was so inspired by the way how she interacts with people around her and how God used her in a powerful way. I was going through a very difficult moment. And I remember it was like a spiritual warfare that I had. And I was in, like, after service ended, I was like in the restroom, just by myself in tears, having my head down in the sink, and just kind of think about what I can do. And all of a sudden she walks up to me, found me, and then she asked me how I am, how I was. And I just couldn't really say a lot to her because I was like so down. And then one of the powerful things that I felt in that moment was like, with no hesitation from her, she's like, let me pray for you. Let me pray for you, Juan. I can just sense the Spirit through her. I can just sense God from her. Because, people, the rest of the people saw me. He's like, I'll be praying for you and stuff like that. But I never felt such sacredness when she prayed. Because I wish somebody would be there. I was just all alone, and she wouldn't leave me aside. And sorry. And when she's done, we probably have like the longest 3-4 minute hug. Like, she would just open her arms at me. I was about to leave, and she opened her arms at me. And I was like, thank you. Then, like, it was a sense so tight. It was a special moment that was so tight in me. How I held her in my arms to the point where I just can't let go. I just couldn't let go. I just couldn't let go. Because I felt so secure, so safe. I felt so relief. She was there, and I needed that because I was going through a rough time, and I just couldn't let go. I couldn't let her go. It was like 3-4 minutes of just hugging each other until we just leave. that moment till today, I just couldn't forget how much I needed that comfortness. And I promised in my heart I would return the favor to her. And then one time I go, later on in the year, because of those moments that I had with her, just spending time and having this like connection, having the same vision, her and I, and stuff like that, it made me starting to have and develop feelings to her. And I wish I would have said it before. There were moments where I wanted to tell her how I feel about her. But I have doubted that if I told her, things would go out not planned. So I just kept it in, but the more I kept in, the more, mental damage I had, because like I don't want to lose my chance, So I kind of left it in, and one time she was sick on a Sunday, and I was on my way to church, sending her a text that she was ready, and then she told me the situation. Then I went back to my house and then called her, just asking how she's doing and try to motivate her. And then throughout the conversation I had with her, like her voice changes from being like more normal into more soft and tender. And as soon as I was about to end the call, she said something that really just sparked my heart. Really just sparked me completely. I couldn't catch it at first because I said something at the same time as she did. I said something and then she said, "I love you, Juan. I love you." And I told her to repeat it again, and I told her, "I love you too." And then we end the conversation. And as soon as we hung up, I dropped my phone. And I began to feel if it was God having someone prepared that he wanted to show me, So I kept waiting for the right moment until we kind of get, a bit more closer and closer. But then the year later comes by, and then things were starting to like feel a bit different. So I text her like if I ever said something, I apologize. And she told me not to worry, but I'm worried because, like I told you at the beginning, she was like a gem. She was like a diamond, a treasure that I don't want it to leave abandoned, in the desert. I don't want to leave abandoned in the desert. And I worried, like if I said something or did something, then I would make her feel uncomfortable. It makes me worried. We didn't have much like the same kind of communication system as we had before. And I asked myself one time, how can we go back to how we used to be before? But then last year it came by, and then, it kind of felt the same thing too. We were like super isolated. Actually, before last year, I kind of like showed her like a video, kind of hinting what I was feeling, but not really. And then she said one time, if we can at least talk. And so we did. We talked. And she told me straight on a Sunday after worship and during service. She said that, that I'm a very good guy to her. I'm a very good person, a good friend. But she started the conversation with a but. Like saying, but we need to settle boundaries, set ourselves apart. When I heard that, it hurt me completely. But then she asked me at the end if I was okay, and she was honest. Obviously, I was hurt, but I have to make a man of my word and not make her feel bad. So I said, yeah, yes, we can. I went to my room one time, I closed my door, and I just let tears coming in. Well, that was like 2022. Then last year came by, doing the same thing. But then we started having a bit of like, okay, a little bit like closer, a little bit around the summertime, end of May actually. And all of a sudden, there were times where I wanted to really tell her how I feel. But again, I had the fear that things would go out so bad. But there were moments where guys, men were trying to get her, and it made me worried that if she had interest in other people and I don't, I would probably lose my chance. So I had to make myself a date when to tell her my feelings. I keep waiting until I decided the day specifically where I wanted to tell her. It wasn't like on a date that I like invite her out and vice versa. It was just like a phone call, that's it. The day that a movie came around, it was a racing movie, and me and my family were about to go out. And a week before that, I was gonna tell her that I wanted to talk to her about something. And she said, yeah, we'll do it on a Friday. But Friday came by and then we completely forgot. And then the week afterwards, she texted me back and saying, hey, we haven't talked on last week. I thought we could do it still. And I'm like, dang. Okay. Just give me a second. Let me just fix something with my mom and then I'll text you back. It's like my feeling was like, dang, it's coming. The moment is coming. Not knowing the fact until like months later, things would change completely. So I have to go to an area that's private, that's quiet. And then I called her, she answered. I believe it was like an hour and a half conversation. And then when she asked me the question, what is it? Like, what do you want to talk about? It's like, there's no way back. Like you just made your word and you can't turn it back. Like you're in the moment right now and you have no other option left. You can't cancel the call. You have to say it right now. And I have everything pinned down on my phone. But I just felt one reason, it's stupidly long. And two, it makes no sense. And I thought, I'm just gonna say from the heart. I built up confidence to really tell her what I'm trying to say. And, she eventually said that whatever I feel about her, whatever I want for her, are the same things she wants for me. She just needs to set things apart right now because she has a very toxic relationship life. And I keep telling her that I've been praying for her all the time. And I still do. I still do even till this day. And then it was like left aside. And so I thought, okay, feelings didn't work out, but maybe we can still be friends. So I thought a plan to just like check on with her every week. It was gonna be like maybe like a phone call, but she's like, nah, texting would be better. And so I'm like, okay, let's do a text. It was okay at the first 3 attempts, but then about 3 more attempts later, she's like, not responsive a lot. And it was probably the last day of September, I think, there was an event. And all of a sudden, we were just sitting, and then I saw her holding hands with someone I know. And I was like, the moment I did this, the thing just shut off. The moment I did this, the moment I had like reaction, I was like shocked. I'm like, what just happened in front of me? Like, I was concerned. Like, I was like speechless. Like, what did I just see? But then I forget it. But then weeks come by, vice versa. And then some days coming by, it was clear that she was wanting to date on somebody, and it's someone I know. I don't blame the other person at all, because I'm still cool with him. But her specifically is like, she has something in common. She has a thing going on that I'm not aware. And around beginning of November, it kind of makes it clear when it really tells me one Sunday ago, she was telling me, like, not telling me, she was showing me what she's been like hiding this whole time. The last time she ever said a word to me was happy birthday, Juan. And believe it or not, there were days after my 20th birthday last year. What kind of a gift I had. What kind of a gift I received, you know? And that was the last thing she said to me in person. Happy birthday, Juan. That's it. There's a little more to that, but really the big kicker was happy birthday, Juan. That's it. And I sent her like a voicemail, like trying to be real to her. Like, if this is what you think that I'm not a good person to you, because notice why we've been isolating, and I've been asking to you, you know, if I said something or I did something, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. You know I'm not perfect. But it doesn't mean I can do the bad things. I will make the mistakes again. No, I want to be better. And if there's something in me that you don't like, then tell me what it is, and I'll fix it. Because I'm not Jesus. I'm not God. I'm just a guy who can play guitar. And I'm just a guy who says, you know, things are going to be all right. That's it. But have faith. Because I've been praying for her, like I said. I've been reminding her scriptures every time. Because what I wish for her is to be more connected to God. Because God created her in a very sweet sacredness. And I want her to be more into having a more intimate relationship with the Lord. I've been praying for her. I've been praying about it for her. And I wish she would continue to be more faithful and more strong to God. But, you know, after I send a voicemail, a text message or whatever, like the day after, the night after, it gave me clearance that she saw it and never responded even till today, as of now. She no longer talks to me anymore. She no longer have trust in me anymore. I don't know if I can still call her a friend, because I have a fear of just having to lose that person. And maybe I already did. She was someone I cared, someone I've been praying for. But I felt like it was like almost like a curse, because she promised me something, but then she was never honest. If I would have known before, if she was feeling something different, then I would have been okay. And till today, we would have still talked normally. But it was something that she kept for a long time that I wasn't aware of, and it was clearly noticeable. I just wasn't sure about it until, days coming by. I don't know. I haven't seen her very often anymore. Only on, some occasions, but not a lot. And it makes me sad because I lost the confidence that I thought I had. I lost the respect that I thought I had gained. I lost the person I thought I could share my feelings with. I don't know. I've been looking at Jeremiah 17:5, and it says, "Thus says the Lord, cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength, whose heart departs from the Lord." The reason I say that, because not only she never talks to me anymore, but she kind of being more isolated and just focus on dating what is now the fiance right now. Do I have anything against her still? No, I don't, but I'm hurt. It makes me sad to really realize it and to accept the fact that she kept this as long as I can think of. I don't know how long. But if she would have been very honest, because I was always honest to her in a lot of things. If she would have been a lot honest to me and would have told me, "Hey, Juan, I appreciate you having feelings for me, but I kind of have feelings towards someone else, and I kind of want you to understand," then I would have been okay. And we would have still talked, we would still be friends, even till today. But she didn't. And that hurts me. And if she ever wants to talk to me, it's gonna take some time to really kind of rebuild our foundation. Because I question myself, how can we go back to the way how we talked before? The very beginning. The very beginning of how we know each other and vice versa. How we spend time, how we hang out and vice versa. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I was trusting a curse the whole time. And that curse kind of cursed me to something more troubled. And that trouble makes chaotic. And chaotic would be catastrophic, because ever since I found out that she was dating someone, I was one time on a Sunday outside the lounge, and I was just crying hard. I was just crying. It was probably the worst moments I ever felt. And I questioned myself, what areas did I did that make her not feel the same way towards me? Because my goal was to not make her the same way towards me. My goal was to let her know and to make have God, work in the midst of her lives and having her feel what the Lord planned, and having to establish a foundation between us, then maybe it would have been different so today. But unfortunately, she changed a lot. And she used up her own game to hurt me and to bring me down. And that was again last year. It even still is a couple months till today. it's a recovery that I have to walk on. But you know, and she felt like she's like more isolated now. Like she doesn't sing a lot anymore. I felt like she wasn't spiritually fed anymore, which makes me sad because I wanted her to be more closer to God, as well as her family. But I don't know, it kind of feels like the devil's working in different ways to bring one down, you know, and use that for its own gain. You know, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just saying what Jeremiah says. You know, cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength, whose heart departs from the Lord. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm saying what Jeremiah says. Jeremiah 17:5. So, you know, but sometimes the curse can also be trusted in something good when you don't believe it, you know. Sometimes I would have to trust somebody that I feel like it would hurt me, but then bring me something that would be beneficial for me. It's just a matter of what the Lord makes you feel in your heart. It makes you feel what the Lord's trying to say to you. And I just felt like if things would have changed, maybe we would still be friends today. Maybe we still be talking still, but I don't know. She hasn't being honest with me. She never tells a single word to me, and that hurts a lot. So yeah. Anyways, if I can never give you an advice when it comes to things like that, my only advice for you is to trust in the Lord and feel what He feels about the problem. If He makes you feel to not trust something, don't trust it. If He makes you feel that it's gonna be something bad towards you, that's gonna curse you, then don't ever fall into a curse. Because that way it makes the flesh a strength for a man who trusts in man instead of God, you know. And I put a lot of effort to her to the point where I completely depart from God, and I want to get back, you know, to having, you know, a very, very strong one with God. And I still pray for her even till today. Like, do I forget her? No, I don't. But I just don't talk to her anymore, and it hurts. It really hurts. But my advice to you guys, if you're ever running into a situation like this too, or something different that's related to this, feel what God feels about it. You know, if God feels something is not going to work out for you, and He makes you feel that way, then accept the fact that it's not going to be good for you, because, you know, Scripture also says, my thoughts aren't the thoughts of God. And what counts most, my thoughts or God's thoughts? You decide. You tell me the answer. But it clearly states, my thoughts and my actions are not the same that God has. Maybe some does, but the majority is that whatever I think is different from what God thinks. And if God made me think of a different way, then I know it's coming from Him, and I have to accept it, because it's part of being obedient and faithful to God, you know, because that's how you're going to grow with Him. But yeah, that's probably the longest spirit talk I ever done, but yeah, I just thought sharing with you about it. I almost didn't want to do it, but I just thought I would do it anyways. It's about to be, look at that, it's 11:03 right now, and I had to get some sleep. But yeah, I just thought I'd share with you about it. Don't fall in the same trap as me, because I'll be honest with you, it's bad. It's pretty bad, especially for the single people out there. So, yeah. But if you sense someone has a deeply mad addiction to Jesus, make sure you trust that path, because sometimes that path can change. But if you have God involved in this process, then you know it's the will of God. It's going to turn things around, because He's the Father of making the right path for you and for someone you feel about. So, yeah. Take care, guys. God bless you. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I don't know what kind of video I was thinking of. Maybe a cover. I'm not sure. And don't forget, my Helix patch is on sale too. Unfortunately, the discount code is now expired, so you cannot use it. However, I do plan to make more offers as the year comes by, so make sure you stay tuned for those. But until then, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you soon. God bless you guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.